Hey guys, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. I have two projects here. It's going to be a series, and today we're going to do the cards. This is a cut and mix card, so we're going to yield two cards, and look out for the matching treat box. If you click the link in the description below where it says project details, click here. That'll take you to a blog post where you can see both videos embedded and grab both project sheets, the cut and mix cards and the little treat box in video number 2. All right, so what is cut and mix cards? Well, we have a few cut and mix templates. They're not public yet. They were for card classes, but slowly but surely we'll be adding those out for public consumption. We're going to start with 2 pieces of designer series paper of your choice. They're 5 inches by 3 3/4, and we are going to cut them, stack them, cut them at 2, and then we're going to mix them up and make 2 cards. So that is it. Simple. Give you a starting size. We tell you where to cut, into how many pieces. You mix them up. You get a few cards. This time we get 2. Got 2 Azure Afternoon card bases. Let's go ahead and adhere our designer series paper in a mixed up fashion. I'm gonna start with my larger piece of the floral. This is Bloom Impressions, by the way. And if you get our spring break craft crate, we're gonna include all the designer series paper you need, probably to do this technique a few times. All right, so we've done our floral on the right, and on the left, we're going to mix it with our Azure Afternoon, not quite solid. All right, and I think I need a new bottle of glue. I think I like it better that way. All right, so we're just going for equal border, top, bottom, right and left. I like liquid glue for that because I can give it a little slide and then burnish it into place. And now for our second card in the cut and mix, we're going to do the floral, but this time I'm going to put it on the left. And of course, you can do the floral on the right for both cards. It doesn't matter. Turn these portraits or do this cut and mix landscape. It's just kind of a fun way to jump in. I love these cut and mix if I'm kind of stuck for an idea. I know what stamp set I'm using, what designer series paper I'm using, but I don't know exactly where to jump in and get started. And so sometimes I'll just take the starting size, cut it up, mix them up on the card base like we're doing here. Oh, I gotta slide this one over a little bit. And then I'll have the card very well on its way to being completed. So it's kind of a nice way to jumpstart. And then if you're like me and you want to send a card but keep a card all at the same time, cut and mix is a great way to keep one, send one, or send one, keep one, or make it twice, keep one, send 3. I don't know. Maybe you're not like me. Maybe you don't want to keep all the cards that you make. So the next thing we're going to do is add some die cuts. I've got a few things that are cut here ahead, and I'm just going to show you where I got them. I have a couple of blueberry bushel banners, and I have a couple of basic white postage squares, and then a couple of designer series paper squares. So the designer series paper square is 1 5/8. The square postage label that I'm going to put it on is from Perennial Postage. It's the bigger of the 2 squares. It's about 1 7/8 if you're trying to find something to substitute. And then we're doing the Stylish Shapes banner here. This is the long, wide one, and it is about 1 by 3 7/16, give or take, if you're looking to substitute something. So what I'm going to do is adhere my designer series paper square to my postage square, and then I'm going to adhere my banner to my card, and we're going to put these up high of center, and you'll notice that the ends on these are curled up a little bit. You can curl them up or you can leave them completely flat. That's up to you. I'm going to be really honest with you. Sometimes the curling up of the edges of something like this comes from me lifting it and kind of relocating it because it needs to be level or it needs to be moved over to the right, you know, something like that. But sometimes I do it on purpose too. Just depends. Depends on my mood. All right, see, here we go. So I'm sliding, and sometimes that's how my picked up edges happen. But I usually like the picked up edges because it feels like dimension to me. All right, so for my second card, I've already adhered the designer shears paper to the white postage, and now I'm just going to line that one up on there, make sure everything's level, and there we go. And that other fun part about this cut and mix technique is that it really multiplies the number of cards you can produce without multiplying the effort. So the next thing I want to show you guys is my flowers. I had these flowers already cut, and you guys are going to hear me talk about this again and again. I used to throw these bits away once the die set retired. Not anymore, and I had a pile of them, so it's been perfect for the spring break craft crate. We had to do about half the amount of die cutting because I had a bag of these flowers, and they were the perfect flower. So these flowers are crushed curry, and they're from Bright Skies. And then I just punched a 1/4 inch circle using like that standard office supply size, using a handheld punch, and stacked them up, a little liquid glue to put them together. Then in your craft crate, you're going to get some sparkles, and we're going to add some sparkles to the center of each of our flowers here. Let's see. I want to get a take your pick tool. I've got all of my flowers assembled, 3 for each card and embellished. Now we're just going to add dimensional on the back of 2 flowers and glue dots on the back of 4 flowers. Now we've got enough flowers for our 2 cards. We can set those aside for just a minute. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping now. I've got some basic white cardstock, and my stamps are from 2 different sets. I've got the Notes of Spring for the bunny, and then I've got Hello Spring from Easter Basket. Now, if you're a card club for cool people club member, then I might have talked you into the Easter Basket bundle, and if I did, that's where that sentiment came from. I love to reuse the card club stuff and use the card club stuff as much as possible, because I feel like my card club members, I sometimes can, what's the word I'm looking for? Enable you to purchase things. So I like to just keep bringing them back again and again. So that's my Hello Spring. We're going to do that on 2 little arrows, and these are the 3 banner punch. And then we're going to take another little hole punch. This is smaller than that standard size. This is a 1/8 inch hole punch, and we're going to turn that into a tag. All right, so we've got our little tags made. Now our bunnies, we need 2 bunnies. The bunny is from the Notes of Spring. Notes of Spring is a $5 product of the month. So it's a March product of the month. You're going to be seeing these videos in April, but they are available while supplies last. You have to order $75 worth of product. Then you can add any remaining products of the month to your order for just $5. And this Notes of Spring one has just been one of my favorites. Let me show you. This is the Notes of Spring stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set, just $5 to add to a $75 order. I am definitely getting my money's worth. Here is the Notes of Spring Stampin' Stick card class. Very different feel, more natural, more maybe even masculine. But I wanted to bring out the Notes of Spring one more time, especially for the Spring Break Craft Crate, and do it in some fun and vibrant spring colors, not quite Easter. Our goal with the Spring Break Craft Crate was not to be for any particular holiday, but instead just fun, bright, colorful, happy spring projects. Notes of Spring does not have dies, so we're going to just fussy cut these guys, right? But by the magic of television, you don't have to watch me do that. I've already done bunnies. fussy cut, and now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. We're going to put the dimensionals kind of high because we're also going to add some grass, and I put my grass on dimensionals. So keep those up half and above, all right? Speaking of the grass, I have 2 shy shamrock grass and 2 shy shamrock sprouts. My sprouts and my grass have dimensionals on the back already. And these were cut with that Easter basket die set. All right, so let's put this over here and do some assembly. I'm going to start by adding my grass along the bottom edge of my postage square. I like to leave the little postage edge visible. And then we're going to repeat for our 2, card number 2. What do you guys think of the cut and mix? I hope you'll try it. If you try the cut and mix template that we just shared, and the template will be on the printable project sheet. If you try it and use your Stampin' Up! Supplies, we would really love it if you would share in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. The Craft Social is our Facebook group. It's a very active Stampin' Up! Paper crafting group, and we would love to see what you do with cut and mix. All right, so we've got our little grass and bunnies. Let's get our sprouts. I'm going to put the sprout so that it's kind of sprouting up from the grass. And then I'm going to add a flower at the end of it, one that we made with the dimensionals on the back. So let's go ahead and add a little flower up. That might be a little bit too much of an angle. Let's adjust our sprout here. Well, let's see if we can adjust our sprout without revealing all the dimensionals underneath. There we go. This one too. I'm making them kind of tippy. There we go. There's our sprout and our flower. Next up, I'm going to take my tag and add a little bit of linen thread. I think about 6 or 7 inches is all you need. We're going to thread the tag and then tie a thread knot. So that means you just pull both ends up and loop the thread and then pull the ends through the loop. Leave, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch between the tag and the knot. Enough room to put our bow. Now let's get some dimensionals on the back of there. And we can also trim up the tails on those tags. Let's get them adhered to the card. I want them to be kind of hanging at an angle. I'm going to roll the corner up just a little bit, and I think there will do. This little guy also. I'm going to trim the tails on my tag. And now I've got a double bow already made for one of the cards, and we're going to do a double bow for the other. So we're using the sheer ribbon. It's balmy blue sheer ribbon, and we're going to just cut the ribbon in half, hot dog wise. It does not have to be perfect, just trim up the ribbon. Then we're going to bring the ends on top of each other. So we'll stack them up. Once you got them stacked up, then you're going to fold to make your loop. Don't twist, just fold. And then you're going to swoop over the top, keep them stacked, tuck. So where your finger's holding the loop right here, you're going to tuck those stacked ends through and pull. Now you've got the perfect bow. It just needs a little finesse. Hold the knot and pull the tails till you get about the size that you want. A little smaller than what you want, because when you pull the center knot to tighten it, your bow is going to grow just a little bit. And that is a double bow. Now we're going to cut away and then trim the excess. And then we will adhere with a glue dot. Put a glue dot on the back of the knot. And you can spread the little loops out before you glue. And when you would add the bow, capture the little string from the tag. Makes it look cute, like it's hanging there from the bow. Adorable. Now we're gonna add 2 more flowers, one here, one kind of behind it, and then same with this side, one on the bow and one kind of behind. There it is, you guys. That is how easy it is to make 2 cards, 1 effort with the cut and mix template. All right, you guys, check out the blog. Click where it says project details, click here, and there will be a free printable project sheet for you to collect. And don't forget to check out video number 2, where we make the adorable coordinating treat box. If there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. I'll see you in the next video.